Okay, well, welcome to our Thursday morning session. Today, this is all about the new AlanTate.com website and H Suite. And so we have a lot of folks that are on with us today. So we've got branch leaders, we have branch staff, and we have the MTSs. And then I want to thank all of you for taking time this morning to be with us. And I'm Maggie Evans. I think I know most people here, but I see a couple of names on here that I know that I haven't met yet. Sterling, welcome. I think Sterling is a new name on here. And so welcome. If there's any others, I apologize if I'm missing you. There's two people that I want to spotlight this morning. One is Phyllis Brookshire. Hey, Phyllis, give a wave there. And then also Cindy Klontz. There we go. Cindy, give a wave so they see where you are on their screen. Cindy and Phyllis are here as my support and make sure that we can the three of us will in team answer questions that you might have. Does that sound good to everybody? So we have had an amazing team that's been working together over the last many months, to get us to where we are today. As we get started, Phyllis, is there anything that you want to kind of get us started with this morning, or you want me to keep going?
Well, I'm just going to take a minute and thank everybody on the team, Maggie included, Sergio, Stephanie, Tiffany. So it's been a big team effort here. And just tell you guys that we're really excited about the launch. We also 100% know it's not going to be perfect, right? So we all got to go in there knowing anytime you're involved, have technology involved, everything's not going to be 100% perfect, but I think it's going to be great. And we appreciate you guys learning about it and helping the agents understand all the new benefits they're going to get from it as well. So big shout out to Maggie and Natalie and the MTS team who are going to do a lot of lift for us. We're so lucky, just as we were with the SkySlope launch, so lucky to have Maggie and the MTS team and Natalie help us with the lift, getting this program out. So we're excited to be here today. This is, we've been planning for this party and now the party's almost here. So we're excited.
So good. All right. So here's the agenda for the day and really the purpose of why we're all here together. Let me give you the agenda kind of the next, let's say, week-ish. So on, tomorrow, Gary's Friday email is going to be a little snapshot teaser about the website and H Suite with a guest, me. And so you'll see that, everybody, you'll see that tomorrow. That'll go out to everybody. On Monday is Tate Talk Live. And myself, Phyllis, and Gary will be on Tate Talk Live. And one of the topics that we'll cover will be website launch and H Suite. And we're really going to be talking through a lot of the same features that we're going to be talking about today. We'll have other stuff as well. Tuesday or whatever day your business meeting is, whether it's Tuesday or Wednesday, hopefully you've blocked that time to make it all about the website and all about H Suite. Today, I'm going to go through the presentation that we've created for you to use in that meeting, branch leaders. Now, there's two options that you have. Are you ready for your two options? One option is to take the presentation and deliver it yourself, or I'm going to have a recorded version that I go through and I'm going to give that to you and you can pull it up and play the recording. So you get to decide based on what you enjoy doing. I wanted to give both options. Is that okay? Give me a thumbs up if that's cool. Okay. So the delivery on that is I'm committed to getting both of those, a few pieces to you by tomorrow afternoon. And that is the final presentation in case there's any final tweaks we need to make from today of me going through it with you. And then the recording of the presentation, me doing it. So if you want to use it, you can. And then also an FAQ that you can have and review, and we'll decide and probably also deliver that to the agents as well. So we have spent time together as a team with the MTSs, really trying to ask all the questions so we can go through and have a good FAQ. And then from today, My wonderful Natalie is also going to be taking notes of questions that you have. So if we need to add those to the FAQ, then we will. I do have Phyllis and Cindy here to be able to answer questions. And so in Tuesday is the sales meeting or Wednesday, where you're going to go through that. And your MTS, if your MTS is there, they can certainly assist in helping to answer questions. We always want to remember that if we don't exactly know the answer, then let's say, great question, we're going to document it, find out the answer, and get back to you. We're good with that. So they're going to be there. And then you as the branch leader and the MTS need to coordinate on what any workshops or training schedules are going to look like for your offices. Now, we get excited about all the new stuff and we want to be like, fill up Tuesday. It's all things. Consider going a little bit slower with how you're going to roll it out. So it doesn't all have to happen on Tuesday because you want to get comfortable. The MTSs are getting comfortable. Is there anything that happens on day one that we need to tweak or we're still making changes to? Okay. And I'll go through what are going to be the most important things that your agents need to know about and what they need to be making changes to. With that being said, we have been spending, and Cindy and Sergio have been spending a lot of focused time on the consumer-facing allentate.com. And then we've also, as a team, been working on H Suite and making sure that the content is updated and correct, which is still in process. And so that means that there can still be some other tweaks with website admin where the agents are going to go in to make changes. We still have changes that are happening there. So I want to kind of lay out the timeline of how things have been going. Any questions so far? Phyllis, Cindy, am I good so far? Okay, excellent. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to start with that presentation that you're going to have. And then I'm going to spend a little bit of time in the actual website and in H Suite, just so that you can visually start to get comfortable with those. And then tomorrow we'll give you some more deliverables there. Let me get over and I can hear myself. Somebody is in a room around me watching this. And so I feel like a DJ where I can hear myself talking. Oh, it's Michelle. And David got it. Okay. That's funny. Okay, here we go. So this is the presentation for website and H Suite Reimagined. I'm going to go through this, how I would see you going through it in your sales meeting. It's not going to be perfect, of course. So if you have questions as I'm going through it, please write down your question and hold it till the end. I want to go all the way through it. And then we'll do that. Okay, website and H Suite Reimagined. First, we always want to start out with the why. Why are we making this change? Well, it's important to know that our previous website host, Bouge, if you all remember back in 2018, when we moved over to allentate.com, it was a pretty big shift from the previous website to the one we've seen up until yesterday, meaning Monday. Okay. And if you'll remember back in 2018, Remax acquired Bouge right as we were in the process of launching the new allentate.com. And then over the years, we saw both service and innovation waver with Bouge, and it really became obvious that they were not going to be a good long-term partner. And so through our partnership with Howard Hanna, we were able to work hold on, I can't see everything, with their current provider and create a plan to have allentate.com hosted by Constellation. And so we were well down the road in the process of moving to the new host when Remax announced that they would be shutting down Bouge at the end of 2022. So what was fun is the day that announcement came out, there was no panic among us because we had a plan. And so with our partner, Howard Hanna, and our existing relationship with MoxieWorks, we're very excited to present the new allentate.com and H Suite to you today. So first, let's look at allentate.com. What do you really need to know, or what changes are you going to see? Well, not a lot. It's really the same great consumer resource. If you'll remember the previous website 2 iterations ago, And when we moved to the new one, it was a big visual change. But really with this new website, it's a very similar look and feel and flow. You're really going to notice the same consumer experience with a few new added features. First of all, when you go over to the property search, the menu is still on the right side. And when you go to the property search, it does have an expanded property search. It does have expanded property search features. So we've still got the map search, the advanced search. Now homes for rent are there. So if you are an agent that lists properties for a homeowner that you know, their properties will now be listed on allentate.com in the same way that our for sale properties are listed. There's a free market analysis button where they can select there and get a market analysis, and they can also click search worldwide. So it's fun. We have an expanded property search features. Your sellers need to know that they are still listed first. That should always be a part of our conversation with the seller about the marketing of their property is Allen Tate listings are first when the consumer does a search. And so their home is going to be above any non-Allen Tate listings. Photo uploader. Yes, we still want you to upload your fantastic high resolution photos. We want to make sure that you are always maximizing your listing exposure. Get those high resolution photos in the website admin. Your MTS is going to show you how to do that. The feature change here is that you are able to drag and drop photos so you can move them around on the list more easily. And just as an overview, and this is, I need to put another bullet point here that says, and much more. But just a few of the things that you are able to offer your seller. First of all, the high quality images on allentate.com. When you put in those high res photos and they go to a full screen view, it looks amazing. Homes we love. So you have to have high resolution photos to be in that grouping of homes we love on allentate.com. Digital advertising, whether that's the AdWorks ad or other digital advertising that happens through the Allen Tate marketing department. Facebook marketing, anything that marketing puts out via Facebook for Allen Tate companies has got to have the high res photos. Digital billboard ads, office TV. So in our offices where we have the TVs at the front desk, you have to have high resolution photos there, and the advertising that happens through luxury portfolio. So one thing to know to change is that First to Know is now called Home Finder. I really like that. So it is now called Home Finder. I need to capitalize the F in Finder. Okay, I'll do that. Same great saved property search, updating the consumer every day with new market activity. Remember, the Home Finder is really consumer driven, where they've gone to allentate.com and they're setting up a search. Most of the time, they're not yet connected with you all, the agent. And so this is able to get them, and they can go in and have their account and set that up and get their daily activity and search. Yes, you still have your agent website. And the good news is your agent website URL stays the same. So you don't have to pay for any new business cards or any places where you might already be marketing your URL. You don't have to change anything. If you have a, what's it called? Not a glamour URL, there's another fancy name for it. A vanity URL like maggieevans.com that's pointed to your Allen Tate agent website, you're good to go there. Your agent bio did transfer over. I would say that everyone needs to go check your agent description that is on your agent website and make sure everything came over correctly. This is a great time to refresh your agent website, making sure that the content is up to date, and we have some tips for you with that. New, we're very excited about this. You all have been asking for it, and Stephanie Brown and Cindy and Sergio were able to work on this and bring this to you. So we're really excited that you now have the agent branded Allen Tate blog. And so this means that if you're sharing this on social media, you'll want to do it from your branded blog site, and so that it has your name. And the URL is blog.allentate.com/partner/ I put first and last name here. And really that's going to be whatever your slug is, like the little part of your agent website URL. That's what goes in at the end. So team names, or if you have some type of a partner name, or you have a different way of having your name listed, that is going to come from your agent website, that same slug there. So I just want to mention that. Also new is we now have a neighborhood news integration in your menu section, so that it's right there. If anybody is on your agent website, then you've got the neighborhood news registration right there on your agent website. So what are the next steps for you? What are your action steps? Well, as I mentioned before, now is a great time to refresh your agent bio. Why don't you look at your list of services? Does it really cover everything that you provide to your clients? Great opportunity to double check that. Do you have any dated content? I know I was looking at an agent website the other day, and they had everything they did in 2018, which means that they haven't made any changes or looked at their agent website since we launched the last one. So now is a great time to look at and make sure there's not any dated content. And of course, review the formatting and add hyperlinks. If you already had hyperlinks, make sure they're still active. Another thing we've seen in this process is there were a lot of hyperlinks that were dead. And so if anybody clicked on those hyperlinks, they weren't working. So now's a good time to check all of those. And the other thing that you want to do is to learn how to use the photo uploader. It actually has a similar experience with removing the old MLS photos and adding in your new photos. It's still in a list format. The difference is you're able to drag and drop and move those around. Make sure you know how to do those so you're maximizing your listing exposure so that you get all of those upon listing triggers as well. Okay, now let's talk about H Suite. Really, really excited about H Suite. And so this is how I describe H Suite. We had Attic on the left, we had Moxie on the right, and Moxie had a navigation bar that a lot of you all have really been using and utilizing. And so with H Suite, we now have a marriage of the two, and they have birthed H Suite. David Deal, I heard your giggle through the wall. I hope you like the way that I did that. I thought that was okay. Let me give you some highlights here. H Suite is your agent marketing and productivity resource. We love that it's now all in one place for you. It has a much improved user-friendly experience. We have homepage icons and submenus that are in common agent terminology. So now you don't have to know what was the name of the provider that does such and such. We're making it very clear for you. And so that gives you a really simplified 2 clicks away navigation. Let's dig in a little bit more. I want to give you a general site tour. First of all, the URL is hsuite.allentate.com. So my suggestion is when you go to hsuite.allentate.com, you're going to log in just like you normally would with MoxieWorks, where you use the Google authentication, and then be sure to add that to your bookmark bar right at the top. So it's an easy button for you. You don't have to type it in every time. If you don't know what I'm talking about with the bookmark bar at the top, you know who you can ask, your MTS. And so make sure you get that updated, and then you can remove the old ones as well. Do some cleanup there. There is a simplified single row navigation bar. Now, you probably already saw that some of this started to change a couple of weeks ago, and I know it's a little bit of a shakeup and shocker. We are continuing to add more to the navigation bar. So if there's something that you're not seeing today because we turned it over overnight, it is coming. So we had some of our providers couldn't make a change. We couldn't make a change until we had made the big shift. So if there's something that you're not seeing in the one-click navigation bar, it is coming. And if you have a question about that, you can ask me or your MTS or your branch leader, and they're going to be able to direct you on that. Then you also see from this page the intuitive menu icons. Agent promotion is really intended to be if I want to sit down and work on a marketing plan for myself to market myself, generate leads, what all do I have available to me? Listing and buying are going to feel familiar, but with new added intuitive lists of resources. Marketing brings together the agent promotion, but then also some of the other one-stop marketing menus of what marketing brings to you. Agent benefits, I need to update this image because it now says agent resources. Agent resources is everything that's not related to the top four. So Hannah Health and Wealth is going to be there. Any of our residential guidelines, all of that stuff is all going to be under agent resources. Family of companies, we're excited that we not only have the family of companies that were listed on Attic, so we've got insurance, mortgage, relocation, client relations, but we also now have BSI and master title. And we're working on some of that updated content. So if it's not 100% today, know that that's still a work in progress. Luxury resources now has its own section as well. So if you are an agent that works in the luxury property arena, then you can go straight here and see everything you need. And then Tate University has an easy button. So if you click Tate University, it's going to take you directly to Tate University, where you can still access Leading RE from there, as well as a lot of other resources. Hold on, my light went off. Okay, there we go. What you don't see here is the training button. So training went away because everything is now going to be in Tate University. It really already was. And so it's either there or it's in one of these other places in agent promotions or agent resources. So we're good to go there. When we look at the main home screen, one thing that we now have are these fun spotlights. The fun spotlights here. So we're going to use these sparingly so that if you see a spotlight, you're going to be able to recognize, oh, let's go make sure we're looking at that. Proud of the Den was the one that I kind of highlighted here. And here's what I'm really excited about. I know the rest of us are really excited about are the easy to identify resources. So this gives you the look into the agent promotion page. So if you're sitting down and you're working on your marketing plan for the year, what all is available for me? Now, what we're trying to go more towards is what is the function rather than the provider. So if we look here, I could never remember what direct mail, what that company was called and what was it called, agent mailings or RSP. Well, look, right now we have direct mail farming, and then it has the logo. So the logo is there to help it to identify and kind of connect the dots. And but you can go through here and there might be things that are listed here that you didn't even realize was available to you, which is a lot of fun. Now, are you ready to learn more? Yeah. So here is from the, thank you, Phyllis, for the branch leaders. You will work with your MTS for the sales meeting presentation. This is where you will add any of the training schedule that's coming up. What we're suggesting right now is if you want to do a more in-depth tour of allentate.com, a more in-depth tour of H Suite, where agents are going to it with the MTS, or if you want to help to lead this. And then the other would be to do their bio refresh, their agent website refresh, and to learn how to use the photo uploader. Where is it? How do we get to the website admin from the H Suite? And especially any agents that have active listings, if they had photos in allentate.com prior to the go dark, then those photos are coming over. If they had a listing that went into active status from September 9th on, they need to come in here and load those photos. They need to load those photos. Okay. So that was the presentation. That took, I don't know what, 15 minutes or so for me to go through. And so let's, thank you. Oh, thank you, Cindy. We are importing all customers and searches. So that is the home finder. They'll get a notification that they need to go in and reset their password. So if there was any contact currently in there in the old website admin, then those contacts will receive an email. They need to reset their password. Good time to go in and look at those. Okay, allentate.com/admin will redirect. Is that correct? Is that right?
Is that right? Isn't that right,
No,
Cindy?
that one, that is how you log into Constellation.
Okay.
But like, they don't need to go directly to it. The link is in H Suite. So
No,
addict.allentate.com, we will redirect to H Suite.
Right, so if I'm used to going to get onto the attic by going allentate.com/admin,
Resolves at Constellation.
okay.
That is their admin function for managing the website.
Okay, so if I type in what I used to do to go to the attic, am I gonna go to H Suite now? Okay, so let's make sure everybody understands that, because that's gonna be, that's a pretty big shift for the agents. They
Yes.
didn't hear that we moved to hsuite.allentate.com and they type this in, they're gonna go someplace totally different.
Correct.
Now, if they still had the old attic.allen, was there an attic.allentate.com?
Correct. Yes, there was. Yes.
Will that redirect to H Suite?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Okay.
The only one that we can't accommodate, and it's really because of the way Constellation formats their admin, it has to be the domain name /admin. Like it can't be changed. That's part of their infrastructure. Unfortunately, we use the exact same thing on the other website.
okay, good.
That could be confusing.
So I do want to take a few minutes and get into the production side. Cindy, is that okay if I do that for the website and H Suite? But before
Yeah.
I do that,
Can I
Go
make
ahead,
one
Cindy.
caveat? We are,
yes,
in case y'all notice anything strange, we are pushing fixes live constantly all day. So if you get something that's just temporary, that is most likely what it is. If you run across something that is consistently happening that's bad, I would like to know, because that could be an issue on the site that we need to make sure gets resolved.
so from the presentation itself, not necessarily the details of getting into the website and H Suite, any questions about the presentation itself? I'm looking for hands. I'm looking for faces. Okay. I've given the pause. All right, well, I'm going to keep going. So after we look at this, now you're going to start having questions. So write your questions down, put it in the chat if you want to, and we'll take a look. All right, so this is what the new allentate.com will look like. Again, this is not live production. So if it is a little bit slower today, it's because it's not in live production. The URL up here, if you want to go look at it, is allentate prod, P-R-O-D .e-net.com. And I'm going to put this in the chat as well. Now, here's what I ask. Don't click on this and go start, hang out with me. I probably should have waited, but hang out with me and let's take a look at this together. And then you can, after we're done today, you can go look around some more. What I wanted to bring up today are some of the similarities and changes. I'm not going to dive super deep because you can go spend some time. We've got this banner across right now because it is Prowler Den season. But if you look, we have ready to sell your home, get started. But it has a very similar look and feel. Now you notice that find agents and find offices is not here. It's now in the menu section. But other than that, it still has a very similar flow. So a consumer going to the website is not going to see a huge difference. The customer sign-in, consumer sign-in is still here. Ignore Cindy stuff. It would have theirs. If they needed to create a login, they certainly can. The search function is there, and then here's menu. Again, menu looks very similar. There might be the new added stuff here for the property search, buy and sell, same content. Agents and offices is now over here in the menu, and then we still have everything over here that was the same, payment portal included. When we look at the agent profile page, so if somebody goes in and looks for an agent, they still have their agent profile page laid out a tad bit different, but again, looks very familiar. What's going to be a little bit, we have distinctions here. And Cindy, I believe the distinctions for Allentate certifications are also going to be here, correct? They're not loaded in yet.
Correct.
Okay. So if agents are saying, hey, where do my certifications go? They're going to come in. They're no longer going to have those badges. They're going to be considered a distinction. And so that is still in process. Please let them know that we're working on that. Something that's a little different here is they now are going to have my listings, my sales, my reviews or testimonials, and then neighborhood news will be and I don't know if this is the up-to-date version of neighborhood news. So it's going to have the neighborhood news. I probably shouldn't have clicked on anything because it's going to take it a minute. But it's going to have the ability for a consumer to register for neighborhood news right here. Agents will be able to turn off my listings and my sales if they don't have any, or if they don't want to show that for any reason. They can certainly do that. Oh. Waiting, hold on. There we go. So what this looks like here, this is going to be updated before go live. So this will look a little bit different. And then over here is, we're still on allentate.com. So this is still all of the same menu. Now the agent website is here. It's still the same URL that I mentioned before. What does change, the name is up here. If they have a logo, they'll need to put their logo in their agent bio section. So the bio would be down here. Oh no, it's not down here actually. Okay. So we've got this. This has a similar look, similar flow, distinctions. We mentioned that. Homes we love, similar to what we have now. This is based on center of business, and they can change center of business. So if yes, Phyllis, go ahead.
So let's just talk a minute about the bio versus the website and sort of the flow.
Okay.
So if you're a consumer and you're going to the website and you're trying to pick an agent, you're in that directory or you've gone to Office and it says see the agents. And as you click on people, it presents that profile page. And it has the blurb and the photo and that, but it's not about search. It's not about the experience of looking for a home. It's about the experience of looking at different agents. So once you pick Allie Summy and you want to go to her website, then that bio is not duplicated again, right? Because now you've picked Allie and you're going to her website. So I think it might just be helpful for the agents. It's actually a better consumer experience because they can just sort of read through bios and then go to websites instead of going to website, coming back out, going to website, coming back out. That makes sense for everybody. So that's why the bio isn't duplicated on the website right now.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And then over here, the menu, agents have the ability to add content pages. Some will not do anything, and that's absolutely fine. But you have those few agents that want to be more creative. Maybe they had widgets or the custom wells, the widgets that they created stuff. This is where they'll be able to do that in the future. So we have the About Me section here, my reviews. This is going to be, the About Me is not there. Okay. So we have, everything here is pretty much the same. This is the My Listings and My Sales. Neighborhood News is here. Payment Portal. This is something that's been added. Is Payment Portal is now here. So agents can just share their agent website and go to Payment Portal instead of having to use allentate.com. So that is an added benefit. And then the blog. Now I got here by going to the bottom of the agent website and went to the blog. This is how I went to her blog here. And if you click on the agent up here is the home, and then it takes you to the blog.allentate. So agents may want to save this URL in their favorites so that if they're using it for social media, then they can go right here and look at history. Remember, a lot of our blog content is evergreen. So if they're working on a 7 R's promotion of any sort or want to go back and look for something fun, this is where they could do it from. And this is the new feature. Any questions so far about allentate.com? Let's see over here. If an agent doesn't have any listings but leave that section on, will it fill with other Allentate listings like it currently does? Cindy?
In the Homes We Love section, Holly?
No, on their site where it says, or on the My Listings.
No, My Listings is truly My Listings. So the only place we do the supplemental is in the Homes We Love. And that is where the center of business. So it's always got content there.
Okay, good. And then clarification, if an agent has a listing that went live September 9th or after and have loaded picture, they will need to reload to the new site.
So technically, right now, we have given Constellation as of I think it was the 9th, it was either 8th or 9th, all the photos that were currently uploaded. So they're pulling all those into the new site. After we are live, we are getting an additional feed from Booge of those photos that we are planning on pulling as well. But if for some reason I'll have a list of them, if we need to manually pull them, we will. So nothing will
Okay.
be lost.
So that's great news. I said that incorrectly earlier. That's great news. Okay, and
A lot
then
of moving pieces.
a lot of moving pieces. Yeah. And then Trissa, you had a question about the portal. Go ahead and unmute. What's your question? Trying to find Trissa. Oh, there you are. Oh, Trissa, you're muted. Go ahead and unmute and start over.
Is the portal still going to be linked to allentate.com/pay, or is it a whole new website?
Hold on, I don't even remember, but I'm gonna go look for you right now.
So we'll
It's
Send
still
over.
/pay.
Okay, and then our client, this long time ago, Maggie made a fantastic client informational like PowerPoint that I give to the agents that has that link on it. Can we still use that same instruction sheet? Okay.
Yep.
That was it. Thank you.
fantastic. Good call there, Trissa. Thank you. Brad, I see you have your hand raised.
I do. What would it be without me having a question? So, two questions actually. For the photo uploader, will there still be a minimum of 9 required? And the second question is, do you think it might be a good idea just as a level of insurance? And I trust Cindy, but to have the agents copy and put their bio into like a Google Doc, just to kind of, just to make sure it's safe.
So 2 things. First, the photo uploader, 9 is still a requirement. And really the 9 requirement has nothing to do with a vendor. It's about the consumer experience. We want the consumer to have high quality, large photos when they view properties and not be watermarked small MLS photos. So that's the first thing. The second part is always a good idea to have a copy of your bio so you can edit and copy it, paste it anytime. I do have a backup of everybody's bio in the whole company in the event something goes oops. So I can get it for you.
Okay.
And what we have I know some branches have worked together and just did this on behalf of the agents and pulled them and put them in a Google Doc. I see some head shaking there. So that's also a possibility of something if you wanted to do that so that they're there. But they did port over. What might happen is there were images that were links that maybe they're dead images. If the images had an address link connected to it, Cindy, those should have come over.
Talking about IPWs? Is that what you're-
No, I'm talking about images within a bio.
And links.
That's a trick question. It depends on where the image was hosted.
Okay.
If they uploaded it to Booge, no. If they linked to a photo that was hosted on another website or a photo that was hosted within their Google Drive, yes.
And so for a lot of you, you're going, I have no idea what you're talking about. And that's okay. That's okay. So
That's why you
agents,
check it.
that's right. That's why you check it and your MTS can walk you through. They know what we're talking about there. But you did say a word that let me talk about that. And that is IPWs. Remember what IPW is? That's a property website, an individual property website for a listing. I like this change. We still have the IPW. The website URL for a property will be, if you look at a property now, I don't think it's there, but it will be upon launch. And that website URL is going to be at the bottom of the public remarks on their allentate.com property detail page. Here's what's cool is that it now, if an agent is using it from their website, it's still going to, Cindy, correct me if I'm wrong, it's still going to link back there, right? It has the search feature. So if you'll remember before, the individual property website was a dead page. So it's great for the seller. They're like, ooh, I have a URL, but agents really didn't like using it because it was a dead page. They couldn't get leads from using the property website because you couldn't go search anywhere. You couldn't really do anything. So Cindy, correct me here if I'm wrong or add to.
I'm questioning that the search is there.
If it's on the, I think it is.
I need to
It is-
confirm, I need to
it
confirm.
goes back
that and
to-
generate the URLs.
Okay, so we'll confirm that, but it is going to be located on the bottom of the public remarks section. If you go to howardhanna.com right now and look at one of their properties, you'll see how it functions. Okay. What other questions do you all have? Lori, are you waving at somebody or did you have a question?
I'm waving at somebody out my window. Sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. That's okay. What other questions do you all have?
Maggie, let's take a minute and revisit the feeds, and because the feeds are dark right now, and just make sure everybody's clear about what's going to happen about Go Live.
Sure. So
I'm
as
just
of
stressed. Get some water. Get some water.
Sergio, are you there? Are you, oh, sorry, go ahead. Was Sergio talking?
I didn't even know he was on here.
I know. Oh, he's muted. Okay. There he is.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. That's okay. I thought you were going to take over talking about the fees. I was going to let you go.
I know.
So
It's either-
with the, Cindy, do you want to talk about it? Go ahead.
Sure. So all of the feeds are halted right now from Booge. And really what this is you can't have two different vendors providing data to one vendor and then also being able to log in the system. So in order to give those vendors time to retool, one, to prepare for the new feeds, and then two, to also prepare for a different login experience now from Moxie, not from Booge, we had to basically go dark for a week. So this is really AdWorks, Quantum Digital, that kind of thing. But one thing I do want to bring up is nobody's going to miss any marketing. So what we are doing is we stopped everything going out from the 9th. And then when we pick back up on Tuesday, I don't know if it's going to start Tuesday or Wednesday, we are rolling those dates back to make sure no one gets any missed opportunities.
And the other reason I think that the feeds had to go dark is that the links that are in those marketing materials need to be links to the news site, not to the dead site, right? So you didn't want a card going out that said, go to the old allentate.com and have a bad consumer experience. So we're just taking this week for all those to flush through the system. The vendors get set back up. And then when the new marketing comes out, all the links will be to the new site.
I'm not
Method
seeing other.
behind the madness.
Yes, there you go. Thanks, Phyllis. And thanks, Cindy. I'm going to take a minute and go through H Suite. I think there's probably more questions on the allentate.com side, so I wanted to make sure we left time for that. Let me make sure that I have what I need up. All right, let's look at H Suite for just a minute. You can go ahead and go to hsuite.allentate.com, save it in your favorites bar. I'll tell you that marketing is working really hard right now on some content page information and the way that it looks and where the links are. So if you see something that is wrong when it comes to the content pages, and I'll show you what I'm talking about, then give us a little bit of time. That's going to be a work in progress, even probably past Tuesday. You'll see here, this is what agents are used to seeing when they're in Moxie Engage or Moxie Present. This will change on Monday night, Tuesday morning to say H Suite. And when it is clicked, it's going to go to the H Suite dashboard, which is this. So if they're in transaction, or excuse me, if they're in Engage and they click the H Suite, it's going to bring them back here. If they're in presentations and they click this, it's going to bring them back here. So this will be the home screen. If they're somewhere in here and they click it, you get the idea. I like, look, it's kind of active and fun. So as you go
Maggie,
across,
Can
yes.
you talk about the two different help buttons?
Oh,
I didn't think about it till I just looked at this.
so thank you. So help up here is our traditional go to Allen Tate help desk. So we've got that. Cindy, can we make that a new tab?
Yeah, we need to get Laura to do it.
Okay, so we'll see if we can get that updated in time. If not, we'll put it on the list. Natalie, if you can document that, we'll ask for that. But you see here, we have this, here are the spotlights. When you go into one of the tabs, so agent promotion is here, this is what it looks like now. This is everything that you can use to market yourself. And when you go in and click, some of these might go to a Google Doc or a Google Drive, or they could go to a content page. So for instance, email signature tags, this is going to get updated, but this looks similar. So we moved a lot of the content that was over before, we just moved it right over here. What we have done is we have started working on updating the content pages. So this is the new look here. I swallowed wrong, excuse me. I'll give you the tour as I take a swallow of water. Phil, let's talk for a minute about this page.
Okay, so I think one of the bigger changes we've made is that when you click on this page, for example, this is telling you the what. And when you want to do the how, all the learn more, how, training, everything is in one place, and that's all in the university. So I think we're all excited about that. Sometimes you would do it on the page, sometimes you go to Take University. So all of these learn more buttons will take you into the university side, and that's, you know, that's where you'll have all the how do you do it? This is what you do, and that's the how you do it. Or the why. This is the what and the why, and that's the how.
Yes. Thank you. And so this is going to coincide with the agent resource links that we have on this page. So we might have Real Scout listed in 4 different places, 5 different places throughout HSuite, calling out different things. So this is a lead generator. So it's under agent promotion. Then it's going to be under buyer when it talks about the buyer search. And so you might see the same logo. Moxie Engage is another one that you're going to see in a lot of different places. Moxie Engage is here. We have Lolo, and we have their content page, and then a direct sign on until we get that up at the top. And then at the bottom, we have campaign. So this just helps agents have more of a focus. There's not a ton here really to talk through. What else do we want to talk about with HSuite? The remind. Go
Susan
ahead.
has a question about where does the bottom help button take you?
Oh, yes, thank you. I got off track. That's your typical MoxieWorks help. So that is what they see now when they're in Engage. So thank you for asking that question. So this is the one that we want to, we really want to use. I'll show you listing so you can get an idea of what it's going to, how it's broken down. So with listing and buying, we have seller solutions, resources, and promotion tools. Same thing on the buying side. So what do I need to do to promote a listing? It's all going to be there together. Forms, it looks the same there. So solutions, these are our Allentate Advantage solutions. Resources, what do I need that would be a resource? And then promotion. Really excited about this new flow. And then family of companies is a little bit different here, where we have mortgage solutions, mortgage resources, and mortgage promotion. So when you go into, I don't know if these pages are updated. So I'm going to click one not knowing. Yeah, so it'll have a little bit of a different look where it has more of a call out to what are the mortgage solutions. Okay. Any questions about HSuite? Is there anything, Phyllis or Cindy, that we definitely wanted to mention today in regard to HSuite? Will the
So I
Gmail
think-
app Mojo Help Desk still work? I don't see why not. Mojo Help
No,
Desk is still
we didn't change the help desk. We just added a link to Moxie.
good. Yeah, we moved it from Attic over.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Phyllis.
I totally lost my train of thought. Oh, the navigation bar, I think just the words, maybe talk a little bit about that, the main navigation bar.
Yeah, so one of the things that has enterprise-wide is we really want to focus on what is the function rather than the name of the provider. And so that's why on the top of the HSuite bar, it says transaction. So whether we're using ZipForm or SkySlope, now that we're in SkySlope, that is the agent's transaction where they would go for transactions. And so that is why we've changed the names over there. We went ahead, we have up there the ones that are existing. We have a phase 2 and a phase 3 of what's going to be added to the top. Quantum Digital will come back to the top. It'll be print marketing. We'll have Lolo there for stay in touch, clients stay in touch. All of those are going to be back up there to the top. Now, they may drop to a more button not, yeah, to where it says more, but it's going to be right there. They can hover and click. So they have a easy one click away.
I
You
see a question about forms. So yeah, we'll continue to manage forms in the Google Drive folder as we do now. We always like to have redundancy. So if, SkySlope was not available for some reason, then they could go there and have access to forms. I mean, obviously they can get most of the forms through, NCR or South Carolina Realtors, but they will still be continued to be maintained there.
So Donna has a question. Does office staff still go to the same tab, allentate.com, or log in to do our admin duties? Cindy?
You're talking about stuff on the office admin page, Donna?
Yeah. I think so.
So that's all been moved to H Suite, and you'll see a leaders and staff at the top right there. And then there will be
There's
office
office.
admin. It's a confusing thing to explain, but like the allentate.com/admin on Tuesday going forward is all about managing your website. And then really all of the intranet functions are on H Suite now. That's kind of the separation of church and state.
And then-
Cindy, could you go to this page and you could go to this page and save this as your new bookmark bar for office admin, correct?
Correct. You'll still, like, if you've been logged out, it'll
Oh, is that
Uh-oh.
me? Oh, that was Cindy. Okay.
prompt you to log in with Google. So that part has not. Oh yeah, I'm getting unstable internet.
Yeah. I love
I
that.
only
when
had
I-
someone to look at that.
Yeah. Talk to the Allentate IT department about that, Cindy. See if they
Oh,
can do
that's-
something. Oh, okay, go ahead.
That was, do we have any other questions? Good questions. I know we're going to have more questions as you get in and start looking around. Probably best place to send questions. Who's going to take that?
Help desk.
Help
No,
desk.
well, I'm talking about prior to Tuesday about
It's-
functionality. I would rather you send it.
If you
To
want it
me.
manually,
Yeah.
for me to divide and conquer, I'd rather have it. Some of it they can handle already.
Well, these are going to be the general functionality questions, I think is what we're going to see.
Okay.
And less of the, it's working or not working right.
I would say functionality, Maggie, just have them send it to you and me and Natalie or something, and we can triage them with
Yeah.
Cindy.
Yeah, that's fine.
Any of the above.
We
Okay.
might already have the answers for you. We've been working, the MTS team was great at asking all the questions that the agents might ask. So we have a list of those that we're going to put into a better format for visual purposes that will be included with your collateral tomorrow deliverables.
So one thing piece of, I guess it's advice, just something to think about is, for next week, let's just stay focused kind of on the high level pieces of things. Like I know how to get to okay, I got to go to hsuite.allentate.com. Everything's there. I need to go check my agent bio. I need to go learn how to use the photo uploader. And like, don't get caught up in the 17,000 other things maybe that are questions later. I think if you stay to Maggie's presentation, these are the high level things, but let's just focus kind of phase one on this. So our agents don't need to get overwhelmed by a lot of this. So just let's kind of keep that in mind as we're presenting this. There's always time to come back and learn more and have your MTSs do more training on different things, but stay focused on how do I get to the H Suite? What's it look like? How do I do it? And photos and my bio.
And I see Stephanie, you've unmuted, but real quick, let me say one more thing. That also means that we'll have additional training for you all on doing the photo uploader in the website admin. If you go to, once website admin is up and you go to it, it is fairly easy, I think, and intuitive to figure out where you go and click the buttons. We will have training again for you all. We'll look at the schedule in the next couple of days. I see you, Cindy, and we'll get that on the calendar. Cindy, I see your twinkle fingers.
It's technically up now, and I have the link on H Suite going to the development environment. So it will actually take you there. And so that's probably a good point, what Phyllis said too. Instead of being so worried about allentate.com admin, hsuite.allentate.com is your launch place for everything, which includes getting you to managing your website.
Now, where is that right now on H Suite?
I think it's on agent promotion is where I saw
Agent resources?
it. Maybe.
Yeah, I think that might be better place. to name.
That would be the best.
I think that's where it is because I saw it when you were scrolling the page.
Oh, you did? Oh, it might be under agent promotions. If it is,
It
I would
is.
say,
It's there.
okay.
think maybe-
So
so-
you guys have lost me. Can you restate what we're talking about?
So about the admin function, the website admin function.
Just whatever you guys are just now
Okay,
talking
so-
about, like,
So what we're saying is that, when you need to go, when an agent needs to go in and do admin functions for their website, like they do now, photo uploader, change my bio, that type of thing. The link to get there, the best way to condition the agents is to go to H Suite and click on the link there that goes to that. You can
Agent
go at
permission.
it directly, but I think what we're trying to focus on is let's get everybody, go to the H Suite, and then everything's in the H Suite, right? So transactions in the H Suite, universities in the H Suite, everything from the attic is in the H Suite, which is the huge benefit. It's really one place for everything. So I think what we're saying is let's not train to go, you have to go to a third place to get to your admin, to do your admin on your website. Just go to H Suite and click on the button in H Suite. That's what we're trying to say.
Right. Yeah, so my question was gonna be, not to get in the weeds, but we will have the few agents who say, oh, I need to know how I go do some higher level modifications to my site now that I see it. Is there a place on H Suite that we can point them to now, or is that just the answer to that is get with your MTS? Like, what is that? What is the short answer to that on Tuesday?
The short answer to that on Tuesday is their MTS will be their resource for that. So the MTSs have already started training on the more advanced, how do they get to their content pages and create content pages? We're still working on all of that training, but that is definitely a one-on-one, and it might stay more of a one-on-one until we're way down the road, because there's only a few agents that are going to do something like that. Now, certainly they can also use the MC service if they want to have content pages created. That's something that the MC service and the marketing concierge would be able to assist them on and do for them if they wanted to have something created that's customized.
Yeah, so I think for that, 1% of the agent population that is going to really take advantage of their site and do things, let's send them to the MTSs and let it be one-on-one and let us just help them, because the 99% of them are not. So let's not get carried away showing 99% something that they're never going to use, because they're just going to get confused. And I just made a note, we'll do a spotlight for the admin, for the website admin and agent resources, if that's where we move it, Maggie, and we'll make that a spotlight, make it easy for agents to find it. How about that?
Good idea. Good
Yeah.
idea. And then the other thing that would be the case, going back to Stephanie, what you asked, is once the agents that are going to want to create that custom content on their website, they're going to be able to have 5 minutes with an MTS that says this is where you go to find it. And a lot of them are going to be able to intuitively get in and start using it. It's going to be an even fewer number that want to do it themselves that need a lot more instruction, because they already know how to do the formatting and all that kind of stuff. So that's great news. It is content pages are much easier. Good. Any other questions? I know we're at 10:01. Right. Well, thank y'all very much. I feel like it was productive. I hope you feel like it was productive. This was recorded. We have the commitment for tomorrow to get I hope y'all can't hear my stomach growling because it's really loud. And I had to mute myself a second ago. Tomorrow I'm going to get the recording, the presentation, and the FAQ to you all. So be looking for it in your branch staff chatter group and your branch leader chatter group. So you'll have all of that there. Branch leaders, if you have any questions for me, please let me know in regards to the presentation of it. So you'll have the recording as well if you want to use that instead. Thank y'all so very much. We'll continue down this road. We're excited about this and hope you are and hope your agents are. Anything else, Phyllis?
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate your time this morning.
Have
Thank
a-
you, Maggie.
Have a great Thursday, everybody. Bye-bye.
Have a good
Hey,
day.
Maggie,
Yes,
Maggie, where will this recording be for those leaders who couldn't make this?
we will post it to Leadership Chatter.
Is that today or tomorrow?
It will be today.
Okay,
We'll
cool.
get it out. Thank you.
Thank you.